What if saving money felt less like a chore and more like something that just happened? Well, spoiler alert, it can. And the people who figured that out years ago are sitting on emergency funds, retirement accounts, and investment portfolios, while the rest of us are still negotiating with ourselves about whether we really need that fourth streaming subscription. Here's the uncomfortable truth: most of us don't have a money problem, we have a willpower problem. And willpower, as it turns out, is a hilariously unreliable financial advisor. Every neuroscientist, behavioral economist, and your broke uncle who almost invested in Apple back in 2001 will tell you the same thing. Humans are wired to spend what they see. The catalyst behind all of this is something called present bias, which is just a fancy academic way of saying our brains treat future you like a complete stranger, and nobody saves money for a stranger. So when your paycheck hits and you think, I'll save whatever's left over, congratulations, you've already lost, because there is never anything left over. This is where automation becomes less of a productivity hack and more of a psychological jailbreak. You are essentially removing your emotional, impulsive, vending machine craving self from the equation entirely and replacing it with a rule-based system that doesn't care that it's Friday or that your favorite restaurant just dropped a new menu. Think of it like this. Automation is the financial equivalent of sleeping in your gym clothes the night before you've already made the decision. So morning you has no say in the matter. The transfer goes out the same day your paycheck arrives, before you've even had the chance to open your banking app and feel falsely rich for 11 minutes. Now let's be honest. There was a moment, maybe 2021, maybe earlier, when everyone was talking about building wealth. Side hustles were everywhere, and your group chat had at least one person who wouldn't stop mentioning passive income. And then life happened. Inflation crept in, and suddenly that optimism felt like a distant, slightly embarrassing memory. But here's what the data actually says, and this is where it gets interesting. People who automate even a small percentage of their income, say 5 or 10%, consistently outsave people who manually transfer larger amounts, but do it irregularly. Consistency, not size, is the actual variable that compounds over time. And the math on this is almost unfairly one-sided in automation's favor. History backs this up loudly. Every major personal finance movement from the 1980s, pay yourself first era, to modern fintech apps has circled back to the same core idea. Remove the human from the decision. The investor who set up a boring automatic contribution in 1995 and forgot about it didn't panic sell in 2008, and that patience is worth more than almost any sophisticated strategy you could name. A lot of people think automating savings means locking yourself out of your own money. But that's a misconception worth dismantling right now, because nearly every bank and app, we're talking Ally, Marcus, Acorns, Betterment, your local credit union, lets you customize schedules, pause transfers, and adjust amounts in about 45 seconds. This isn't a financial prison, it's a financial preference setting. The practical lesson here is beautifully boring. Start small, start now, and let time do the heavy lifting while you go live your life. Even automating $50 a paycheck creates a habit, a muscle, a proof of concept that you can scale upward. As your income grows, and scaling automation is exponentially easier than scaling willpower. Strategy matters more than motivation, full stop. You can be deeply, passionately motivated to save money and still blow your budget, because motivation is a feeling, and feelings fluctuate. Whereas a scheduled transfer on the 15th of every month does not have feelings and will never call in sick. There's something almost philosophical about automation, because at its core, it's an act of trusting your future self more than your present self, which is genuinely one of the most radical things a person can do in a culture that is aggressively, expensively designed to make you spend right now. Discipline isn't about white-knuckling your way through temptation. It's about engineering a life where temptation shows up after the decision has already been made. So whether the market is up, down, or doing something bizarre that nobody on financial Twitter can fully explain, your automated savings are moving quietly, consistently, without drama or fanfare, which ironically is exactly how wealth actually gets built. Size your contributions to what's sustainable, not what's impressive, because $100 every month for 10 years is a very different conversation than $1,000 you transferred once and then pulled back in February. The beauty of this whole system is that you become comfortable with any outcome because you've already prepared market dip, unexpected expense, inflation. None of it catches you completely off guard when you've been consistently building a cushion. You didn't have to emotionally negotiate with yourself to create discipline, sizing, and consistency. Not timing, not luck, not conviction, are the actual levers. And automation is how you pull all three at once. If you're ready to take that first step toward building real financial momentum, whether that means real estate investing, home contracting projects, or connecting with the right lenders, check out the links in the description below and let us help you get started.